go live, I always have the same feeling of, oh, we're doing this. But yes, welcome guys to another episode of Healthy Bands with Aidi and my co-host joining me, UK.
Hey
Say
guys,
hi to the people.
hey.
Hey, just hey. What
Oh,
is that?
welcome back. I just hope
Welcome,
you guys miss
welcome.
me a lot. So I just felt like it was necessary to grace you guys with my presence again. So, a good lift to the start of the week.
Okay, happy Sunday, Divine. Let us know if you can hear us and if you can hear us really well because hmm, today's topic, you guys need to hear us well. So please let us know if you can hear us well. Nice. Okay.
Alright, awesome.
All right, UK. Before we get
Yes.
into today's topic, how was your week? How's your week been?
My week has been really chill. I like slow weeks. It's been one of those slow weeks. So slow weeks means that nothing is on fire and I got to enjoy the week a bit. I got to breathe during the week. What about you? How's your week?
My week was long and yeah, my week was long. I've been sleeping this entire weekend. I've just been sleeping because I had such a long week and it was filled back to back with activities. And I'm always happy when it's the weekend, especially Sunday, where you could just chill.
Yeah, but then you remember tomorrow is Monday and everything starts all over again.
Funny, I really don't think about Monday until it's time to go to sleep on Sunday. Like I don't
Really?
think about Monday because why am I thinking about Monday? Or like okay, so instead of me chilling on Sunday, I'm
Mm-hmm.
using precious hours to think about Monday? No, that's
Okay, it's not thinking about Monday, it's just being aware that tomorrow is Monday and also start all over again.
I am aware that it's Monday, but you can't dwell on that, you know. Anyway, so let's talk about our topic today because the people came to for us to discuss this topic about child I said childhood trauma, but really it is a part of childhood trauma. Okay, um, secondary school
Yes,
in
Nigeria.
in some countries that were not colonized by Britain, they're called high school, I think, or middle school or
Not high school.
something.
Middle school is primary school, is like part of primary school. But high school is,
Really,
yeah.
primary school is high school. Okay, whatever. Secondary school. You understand the concept of secondary school because we are from Nigeria and we have junior secondary school and senior secondary school. Let me ask you the first question. Which of the second which of them were you most traumatized by when you were in junior or in senior secondary school?
Definitely junior. I don't know who's getting traumatized in senior secondary school. Anybody getting traumatized in senior secondary school, you were asking for the trauma. I think trauma is your fault. Not to sound problematic or anything, but yes, the trauma was your fault. You asked for it. But yeah, mine was just mostly junior secondary school. Uh, I went to Field Academy, Ogun State, so anybody, that's Winners Chapel, all that. So yeah, just one was relatively quiet for me. Yeah, I didn't have any. It was my just two that I got the smoke, but just one was very much easy
Your
sailing,
Jets one was rough.
No, just one was not rough. It was just two that got it. It's rough. and then maybe ending of Jazz 3 was a little rough too. But yeah, but that was it. Jazz 4 was easy. I was like, ah, this is what people are complaining about. This is easy, man. This is light work. Nobody's disturbing me. It's going to be like this the rest of my stay.
But it wasn't. Well, so if you were to advise, or as a parent, now you're an adult and you're, starting families and things, as a parent, would you send your kid to boarding house, or would you have them do day school? Have you ever done day school before?
No,
You
no.
haven't?
I'm going to throw out another problematic opinion, but if as
You're
a
what?
kid, I say I'm going to throw out another problematic opinion, right? If as a kid you were
Hmm.
given the choice between day school or boarding and you went to day school, I'm sorry, you're soft. You ran away from challenge, like you're soft. And it is what it is.
So you're
You know?
saying you're standing on the fact that
Yes,
as a child, if you had a choice, you're saying if you had a choice
yes.
between day school and
And you
boarding
choose
school,
day
and you
school,
prefer to go to boarding,
you're
sorry, if
soft.
you and you prefer to stay in day school, then you're soft.
Yeah.
Hmm. I don't know. I don't know about soft. Why soft?
Sounds like a D student. Sounds like I'm talking to a former D student. Then you're saying that,
Yeah,
so
no,
you come
okay.
and confess.
No, okay, listen. I am a former day student. Okay, I've done
I
day
could feel
school
the softness
before.
from my camera. Okay, go on.
Softness, huh? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did day school in
Mm-hmm.
my JSS one. Throughout JSS one, I did day school, and the school where I started my secondary education was right next to home. So and it was the first school that I went to for JSS one was an all boarding house, right? But because we lived right next to school, it was okay. I could just do, I could be a day student then. And then we moved and I did day school. I was a day student in a full on day school. It was just day school. And so
Mm-hmm.
that was very interesting. And then from my JSS2, I went to boarding school. So
Okay,
yeah,
okay. I mean,
huh?
yours is different. Yours is different. You're just a dissident for 1 year, so it's different. You
But
still
it
got
taught
the
me a
experience.
lot. It taught me a lot because
What did it teach you?
it taught me a lot because I was going to school with students. Like I went from having to go back home every day to my parents, right? I had
Mm-hmm.
to, and like go home, you watch the shows that were on, you came back to school and you could discuss it with your friends. I went from that to just waiting to watch shows during the holidays.
Yeah, you're suffering with the rest of them. That's the point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was definitely one of the differences. Okay, well, let's talk about, because I'm sure people want to know, like, oh, why is it traumatic? I feel if you went to boarding house, like my parents went to boarding houses, boarding schools in Nigeria, and the concept of boarding schools in Nigeria is very different, as I learned, from the concept of boarding schools in the US because of some painful historical differences. And I don't know if you're aware of this.
No.
So every time because when I share this, my experience of going to boarding school in Nigeria, to me, it's a happy experience because I left home. I was given the opportunity to be independent at a very young age. I had control of my provisions. To me, that was the biggest, like autonomous power you could give a child.
Yeah.
So I learned how to be on my own at a really early stage. And for me, that was good. I credit a lot of my being able to move about the world on my own to going to boarding school. But when I share that experience, that joyous experience here with my friends here in the US, they always go, "Oh, are you okay?"
I
Like,
mean, to be fair to them, though, Nigerian boarding house stories sound like prison stories, in which not
No,
everybody
but
wants
that's
to
not
like
it though. Well,
what so
I
what
guess so. Their concept is, and
mm-hmm,
the story, the history between Native Americans and you know um,
mm-hmm,
former Europeans. Um, so because of that, they used to take these Indian kids to boarding schools, and they weren't really like a place where you go, you learn, and you get discipline like we have in Nigeria. It's not a place where you go and you're treated like it's like somebody's child, and you have visiting days. Like it wasn't like that. It was always like a concentration camp at a boarding school. So when I was sharing, like before I was aware of that history,
mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, why are they sad for me? After
Oh,
I
they thought
heard
that you were wishing, your people were living
exactly, it's like
oppressed. Yeah.
your parents sent you away to because they did not want to deal with you at home. And I'm like, no, I wanted to go to boarding school. Like, so
I also think
it,
that's like an American reaction because if let's say you're in England talking to your English friends, boarding schools are a thing in England. So
exactly.
it's not you wouldn't get the same reaction. It wouldn't be as much of
No, it
a
won't be the same.
culture. Yeah.
It will not be the
It's
same. But yeah, so that gave me a different perspective because my American friends were saying, "Oh, I'm never ever sending my child to boarding house. I'm never ever sending my child to boarding school. How could you?" I was telling them, "I can't wait to send my kids to boarding school." you know?
really. I'm actually
Yeah,
so you would send your kids to
happily, I will happily send my kids to
what
boarding.
age?
What now?
What age? What
At
grade
what
would you send
age?
them? Age or grade? What grade would you send them to boarding
Um,
school?
I think I think I will do a bit more, and by the grace of God, I should. I'm working hard now, so I can get more options for my kids, and hopefully, I'll be, I'll, at least to like the quality of the school before I send them to. There are certain things I think boarding schools will do for my child. One, it really exposes the child to social settings with other kids. Um, People even like you start belonging to groups and you see how detrimental some groups can be to
Yeah,
as opposed to other groups. I saw all of that dynamics in my school in economical, like the girls who had like different groups, and depending on what group you belong to, you were either like a nerd, super nerd, or like a
a
hot
bad
babe,
girl.
or like that kind of thing. So and there were a lot of people that just because they belong to a certain group, they were almost compelled to act a certain way because of that. And I don't know how much that has affected them growing up, but yeah, I would love to send my kids to boarding school, but I will equip them. They'll be much more equipped than I was. I'll be like, this is what to look out for. If somebody says this to you, they're just being mean. And honestly, that's not who you are. What should you care? So I think they'll be better equipped.
I I'm actually of the opposite opinion, so
You
honestly,
will not send your kids to
I
boarding
don't
house?
think I would, which is funny because I was really excited to go to boarding school as a kid. I was like 9 going on 10. But when I went to back, I'm like, I was just really young. It sounds a little insane to me to send a 10-year-old, to strangers to take care of and stuff like that.
But they are
Especially
with
with
other
Nigeria. I know,
10-year-olds.
I know. I don't know how my parents did it. I do like to send my kids. I don't think I can. My kids are they're always with the day school, please. I'm watching each and every one of you. Yeah. You guys do our
Yeah,
homework.
no, KJ said, yeah, I agree that boarding school exposes a child to social interactions and growth. I do agree. And depending on the kind of boarding school, obviously, if you, we heard horror stories in other boarding schools, but also they happened in my school too. Like, I mean, a lot of unnecessary trauma. Once, and I don't think I've shared this with my parents or siblings.
Okay,
Once,
let's get the tea. Mm-hmm.
no, it was so stupid because I had forgotten after night prep, which if you went to boarding house, I don't need to explain what night prep is. After night prep, we I may need to drink before I share this story.
Okay, that's serious. Okay, now I'm even more interested.
No, it's just so dumb because like the culture of bullying
Mm-hmm.
was really emphasized in boarding schools. Like it was almost like if you were the biggest bully, you got the most respect. That kind of culture. Anyway, but so back to my story. I had forgotten my key after night prep in class,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody had gone back to the hostel. Da, da, da. And I couldn't get into my locker. I couldn't get anything out for the night. I couldn't. I knew the morning would be crazy if I could not get myself out. So my other option was to go back to class and get the key. And we're getting closer to light out. So obviously you're supposed to be in bed, getting ready like that.
Yeah.
So I convinced one of my friends, I didn't remember who. I convinced one of my friends that please you should come with me. Let's go look for my key. We went to look for it. I don't remember if I found it. I may have found it, but on our way back, we encountered this group of seniors that were coming back from night inspections and all that. So obviously we were outside past light out.
Mm.
I, to be quite fair with you, like so many years has passed. Like I don't remember the words or what encountered, what I said to the senior, but I tried to explain why I was still out and that it was my fault. My friend was with me. Da da da. Just it happened so fast. All I heard was a slap. She slapped me. She slapped my ear plus my cheeks. Like I don't know how big her hands were, but bro, they were so big. Like I lost balance for a minute. I was like spinning around. What the fuck? Where am
You're trying to
I?
hit your factory reset button to just reset your
Listen,
brain into.
she slapped me so hard, and I was like, I went back to the hostel crying, thinking, what did I do? Just because I went to find my key that was
Well, you weren't even
missing.
able to get it. Did you find your key? Were you able to?
I don't remember, honestly. I don't remember. But
That's personal tragedy in all this. Like, you still were able to get the key after all that. So,
I
you
don't
felt this
remember
love for
because
nothing.
yeah, I hated Destiny. I can't remember her name now. I hated her for so long, but that was one of my personal traumas. Now there were a lot of fun things that happened in school, and I don't know if you have any to share, but I have a lot of things to share.
If
That
you, if you like, listen, sorry, if you saw that same senior today, what would you, how would you, like, would you bring up the story? Would you confront her? I'm
I wouldn't
curious.
confront her. Why? It's been so long. Like I'd laugh about it, and hopefully she'd laugh too. Because if she doesn't, then she's being stuck up. But
I used to
like
slap her back, so you wouldn't slap her back, just return the favor
slap,
for
why? That's so
for
unnecessary. Like if I did not
little
have the balls
Ivy.
to slap her, then just take it. Take your L and go. Just take it on the chin. Why?
I
She
have
can't
a,
slap
I
me
have a,
now.
I have a similar like story with slaps where I got slapped by a chapel prefect because we were playing in the church, we were playing during service, and I was like, I was writing like sarcastic notes, but like I was being sarcastic in the notes, but he
You're
didn't know I was
listening to
being
your intrusive thoughts.
sarcastic. He didn't know, yes, I was listening to Electricitas, but obviously he read the notes, wasn't aware I was being sarcastic in them, he thought I was being serious. And then he took us to he told me and my friends to see him in his dorm after service, went to his dorm, and this guy was slapping us for like an hour and a half or 2 straight hours. Like he slapped us for so long that our cheeks like turned black. when we went for prep, all the girls were like, ah, what happened to you guys? What happened to your faces? What happened? Faces were swollen and everything. Yeah.
just because of a stupid notes that you put. See,
Yeah.
this is
Sounds
the
like
part of boarding house or boarding schools or whatever that I do not understand, and it baffles me because I'm like, as the principal of a school, surely the reputation of that school matters to you. And the only way the reputation of that school can be tarnished is if the students that are under your care are not being taken care of as they should, or if the people who are abusing the kids are going away, like getting away with it, right? So in that instance, like, how do you slap somebody else's child for 2 hours with
I know. It's so funny. I don't remember his. I really wanted to hate the guy, but I didn't remember his name. I didn't remember
that's
any
a
details
stupid
about it. So
thing. If
it's
you
just
don't
this
remember their
random
names, you
character
can't
that
hate
came to
them.
exactly. It's just this random human that came to my life, slapped me till my cheeks changed complexion, and then moved on with his life.
Bro, that's
It happened.
wild. That's wild. There's one time that this copper, we had this copper come to, she was serving in our school that I think they retained her after she was this year back copper. And mind you, I'm schooling in Akwa Ibom, but because it's a federal secondary school, anybody can be, can work there. So she comes and I didn't even remember what happened. I just know she punished my entire. I think we were honestly. I wish I had one of my classmates on here to tell me exactly what happened for us to get that punishment. She had us crawling, like kneeling, walking on our knees on tad our tad roads. Like, bro, we crawled from dining hall to classrooms. Our knees were bleeding. I'm talking of hundreds of girls just kneeling and crawling. It was brutal, and to see that the other teachers were just standing there and not doing anything and just thinking, yeah, this is an okay punishment for kids who all they did. I don't remember. Were we late for dining? We were late to go and eat the food that our parents paid money for them to cook for us.
I know.
And
It's
we were punished for it. They said they should kill us. Let's just
Even
kill them.
that whole kneeling down crawling thing, one of my cousins, like even till like he went to a Tinani Institute, him and his brothers and all that, right? So when he got punished, I think it was in just one or just two to like kneel from like and crawl from like his dorms to like classrooms. And he still has bad knees till today. Like he claims like his knees are like it's because
I'm pretty
someone
sure
gave him that punishment.
we had pieces of like pebbles in people's skins, and people were like picking them out afterwards. It was brutal. I mean, people we were all bleeding. Over
So
what?
yeah. The senior wanted to show you guys that they can really get that. Well, that's the point. But the messed up thing is that like it feeds into that culture to where
But
if you suffer as a junior,
what
you
is the
want to like
point?
pass it down to the next junior too,
Pass
or
it
like
down to the
they have
next
this
junior, right?
so
So,
like they have to suffer too, so that you create that culture, that
and
bullying culture.
this is how I'm convinced. This is how our politicians are made because they okay. I was a good person. I was a normal person. I went to secondary school. I received my fair share of trauma. Excuse me. I received my fair share of trauma from the seniors when I was in Justice 1 to Justice 3.
Mhm.
And all I'm thinking is, I can't wait to be wicked to other people's children, right?
Same.
That's that, and I'm genuinely telling you, this is what's going through my mind. Like, I have episodes and scenarios in my mind as to how I'm going to be wicked or how I'm going to be, like a bully to other kids because that was done to me. And just imagine. I mean, I know I'm segueing into something else, but I'm digressing. But imagine how many of our politicians who suffered under bad governance now come into power, and instead of doing something positive, they go, after all, I went through this. After all, I suffered through this. So somebody else must suffer the same thing I experienced.
I mean, it's that it is what it is. That's what happens. Like a lot of people like I think a lot of people aren't like they think until they get power, that's when they show who they really are. And a lot of people aren't as good as they think they are. So once they get the power that they've been missing, they turn around and like, okay, finally I can start doing the oppressing too.
Or when I then had the power, I wasn't really a bully because I was like, what is the point when you
You're a
have
good
this
person.
power? When you have this power, honestly, like it feels almost, it feels too silly to abuse it on other people who are not as powerful.
I think it's because you I don't know. That's a very mature take. I did not have that take once I got my own. But I was just like, I guess, so if I was like, what's senior secondary school? I was a boarder in my mom's school. My set was like the pioneer set, so it didn't even, I didn't have anything to prove to anybody. It didn't
Oh,
matter.
okay. So
So I
you
didn't
had,
care. There
oh,
was nothing.
okay.
I just did my own thing, and I was like, I didn't try to beat juniors or anything, because also like
Yeah,
when I beat anybody, my mom's going to find out and she don't want me.
exactly.
So
And your mom will be
that's
like,
even
okay, man, when did you start?
that's even more embarrassing. So
What
I just used to
exactly?
keep to myself and I was just fine. So yeah, that's the
Well,
mentality we had
I
to
mean,
go.
I actually thought that we would have more engagement from people. I guess it's a good thing that not a lot of people who are following this show have experienced horrible traumas like from secondary school. I still like I remember a lot, but a lot of them were like corporate. They were I say corporate. They were yeah, I guess like collective punishments. He
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
just
yeah,
a
that is your set. People is just troublemakers. And you just this is what you're telling me that people is stubborn. That's it.
well, like, bro, we had expulsions, we had suspensions, we always had some drama going on with my set. And honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm grateful for those dramas because otherwise there was nothing else exciting going on in school. Like there was literally nothing else. Come to school, study.
Were you guys the ones like jumping the fence to go to town
Yeah, we
to
had
try
people who were
and
jumping fence.
you were one of those, right? I can
One time I
see
was
you definitely one
implicated.
of those days. Yeah.
Once I was implicated in one jumping fence, and I don't remember if I really was in there or I was just running with my friends,
I feel
and we
like
were
you were
all
in there.
bundled.
I feel
But
like you were in there.
I stayed out of trouble most of the time because I knew my mom. She would not come and defend me. She would come and beat me. She would cut like. So it's like, about there, about I can answer. So no. Um, but yeah. That's really all I guess about but maybe because my co-host today, UK, maybe because you don't have any
I
bad
don't think so. It's
secondary
like,
school
yeah,
experiences,
like when it comes
and
to
that's
trauma,
good.
honestly,
I'm shocked there
yeah,
are people like
I can
you.
talk about stuff I saw. I saw like, so just two, uh, so just me and some of my friends, we like became the laundryman for some seniors, which basically means that after school, they'll come and give us their clothes to wash. And you have to make sure it's dry and ironed by the next day
Oh
when
yeah,
you're leaving.
that was just the usual like senior
Yeah,
post like
but
stuff.
which was
But
fine. But you just have to make sure that his stuff didn't get stolen or anything. But one time, I think one of my friends, like he got like given his senior clothes and it got stolen. So he went to go get PVC pipe, those flexible ones by the toilet, and beat it. Like you could hear him yelling from the other door. It wasn't even in my door. It was like on the door
yeah,
of beat this guy till when he once he left, he left him alone. Like dude was just shaking there, just
over
traumatized.
what? It's not as if they don't have extra uniforms. It's like that is anyway. But the
And
main
just
point.
through like our first week, not
Mhm.
yeah, the first 2 nights of my just legit boarding experience, somebody like a dumb head in as a three dumb head, like on the first deal, I don't know,
Yeah.
his dish soap and sponge got missing. He claims that one of us came and we resumed, we threw it away. And for like the next 2 nights, he just be beating all of us.
You
Every
know, oh,
tell
I'm
your
glad you brought.
success
I
now.
was
One of
about
those.
to
I'm
wrap.
like, bro, this is the
I was
wildest start to a school year I've ever had. Like, I just resumed and I'm literally chopping belts like first 2 nights.
I was
Over
about to wrap this
Jesus.
show up, but you brought that up, and I'm just like, that was a prominent thing, and I don't know if if kids are still doing that. Like, if like senior students would be waiting, just praying on the new students that are just arriving, and
I'm
any
sure
small
they
thing,
always do.
like they obviously don't have those things, but they'll say people
Mhm.
stole it, and you have to give them. Anyway, let's wrap this up because this is. I'm glad that people were not traumatized. But if you're watching this and you're wondering, oh, should I send my kid to boarding house if you did not have a boarding house experience or boarding school
I think
experience?
those is varies at places, especially in Nigeria. If you live outside Nigeria and one of those that like, oh, my child is misbehaving, I want to send them to Nigeria so they can tighten their schools, you play with fire because 50-50 the child gets reformed or 50-50 the child comes back an even more hardened criminal. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think Nigerian boarding school, it
I
was
think
for
you think
Nigeria,
Nigeria
but it
has
was
changed
good that
that
I
much.
think that
I
was
think it depends. It depends on the like on the school, the place. Like I think there are still some really good like Nigerian boarding houses or boarding schools for kids that you know. I want them to have the ultimate like boarding house experience, like have make friends and uh know how to ration their food until visiting day. Like I want them to wake up every day thinking I have a
bro,
chore to do.
you really wanted to have these experiences because you wanted to have your experiences that you had though, but they're their own person. That's
My
also
experience wasn't that bad, to be quite honest. I made friends for life. My experience wasn't bad at all. Like, okay, listen, because I went to my
Mhm,
school,
mhm.
because I developed the kind of friends I like now I have over 10 doctor friends. Just
But that's good. Your friend group was smart. You see,
my
if
friend
somebody
group
went
was
there and their
really
friend group was
smart.
full of noodles, you will be claiming, oh, I have 10 doctors in my friend group. No, you're one of the nerds. So, see,
I was a nerd for life. I am still a nerd. I love being
worst
a nerd.
thing
Like I
for
don't know
me.
why people will
So,
be like, "Oh, I don't want to be called a nerd." Would you rather be called dumb? Like, what
facts.
would you rather be called? I'm a nerd. Oh gosh. Okay, well, we don't have any more contributions from the viewers, but really, I'm glad that we hopped on here because we were this close to canceling today's show, were we not?
I know, and I was the one that pushed for it not to be canceled. They were like, come on, we have to
Exactly,
do
you
it.
pushed
People
for it
want
not
to
to be
watch.
canceled, and you're over here not feeling all the
I
juicy things.
literally just feeling silly about my friend getting beaten and what? I'm
It's
saying
okay.
it's just I
It's
don't have the
okay.
stories. I have people's stories. I tell all my cousins like what they would go. Well, my cousin said this is
No,
even worse. This one's a trauma,
no.
very
I
genuine
want I
trauma.
want
This goes
personal stories because it's okay too
no, that was
if
very
you
fortunate. Thank God.
yeah. I feel like mine wasn't really, and maybe if I were to have the same conversation with somebody from my school, we would have a different banter
Yeah,
because they would know like the references and stuff. Um, but yeah, this was fun, honestly. I think it was just lightweight, and we can then our aim of talking about this whole secondary school and growing up in our kind was to trash out our childhoods and growing up how that experience was so that we can start making way and talking about character defining topics that we all need to be discussing right now. So yeah, I hope that you continue to tune in and you continue to watch us. If you have any topics that you would like for us to discuss, please leave it in the comments. And if you have anybody that you'd like for us to have as a guest on here, go ahead and leave them in the comments and I'll reach out to you and we can talk about all of that. But yeah, I hope you have a wonderful week ahead.
yeah, you too. Like I hope your week is less stressful than last week. Hopefully, you have one of my quiet weeks.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Well, in the absence of any questions or contributions, have a lovely week, everybody. Bye.
Bye.